Would you like paper, plastic, or metal? Those are some of your options when it comes to today's 3D printers. CBC's Magda Gabriselassie has been looking at the growing trend of 3D printing and what it can do. She's live in Walkerville. Now, Magda, earlier on at 5:30, you talked about printing out some cell phone holders. What's the status?
Yes. Well, we're having some technical issues. If you just take a look at the machine, you can see that it's acting up a little bit. The part where the plastic's supposed to come out of, well, that's just kind of going back and forth. It's a little stuck. But this is to be expected. This is a technology that's evolving, so this kind of comes with it. Now, I also visited a company in Livonia, Michigan that's using 3D printers to make things for the aerospace industry, the military, and even the medical field. Even on crutches, Linda Gagnier will go out of her way to make it to choir sessions and lunch with the ladies.
Just have a good time.
But in recent years, several health issues have forced her off her feet. She's had her right hip replaced, both knees too. You can still see the scars. Beneath them are the ill-fitted implants.
The first one I had was a little bit too small, and the second one was a little bit too big. Right now, all they do is have some sitting on a table, and the doctor has to pick out the one that he figures will best suit you. So you're not going to get a perfect fit.
But technology is changing that, and the perfect fit may be a print away.
This would be a knee implant.
It's a prototype, and it was made using a 3D metal printer at Linear Mold and Engineering. How does it work? Well, it starts with a computer design.
You put it into a metals machine, which it lays down a layer of thin powdered metal, and a laser will weld to the section of the part that you're growing. If you kind of think of it like a loaf of bread, you actually make the loaf of bread with all of those layers.
This technology is starting to pop up in all kinds of industries. People are using it to make food, design art, and even go the distance. Next year, NASA plans to send one into space so that astronauts can make replacement parts while up there.
It kind of brings you up.
John Tenbush says this is only the beginning. This technology will only get faster, cheaper, and will allow for more complex designs to be built. Remember that knee implant? With 3D printing, your doctor can someday make you the perfect fit.
So you'll take an MRI of your good knee, you create a math data file where they can make perfect pieces to fit your bone structure.
Oh, well.
Unfortunately for Gagnier, she's already had her surgery, but she hopes this technology will someday be the tool of choice for doctors and their patients.
I think it would help with the recovery time and the physiotherapy.
There are many people that say this really is the way of tomorrow, and if those in the manufacturing industry don't get on board, they'll be left behind. Now, of course, there is a catch, the price. The machines, the industrial ones, are very, very expensive. Even the consumer ones are pretty pricey. This one was about $1,300. Now, when I come back later on, we're going to take a look at, hopefully we'll take a look at the finished product, my CD holder. If not, we'll have another one to show you. Asha?
Keep plugging away, Magda. Thanks. Now, yesterday we told you about the creative ways 3D printing is being used in manufacturing. Today, CBC's Magda Gabriselassie has part 2 of this story, the downsides to this exciting new technology.
All in one part.
When teaching the creators and innovators of tomorrow, Jill Urbanik uses the latest tools in technology. Urbanik's engineering students make model buildings, cell phone covers, and even tools for the auto industry with the use of a 3D printer.
Some students were working on designing a slice of an engine block, so when they were done, we built it, and we've got the mold. We've gotten some quotes that it would be approximately $5,000 in order to do the equivalent work with some of the shops here in town.
She says her students did it for about $1,200 to $1,500.
If it's a good technology, it's supposed to make the costs go down.
Nigel Southway is with the Society of Manufacturing Engineers. He says 3D printing will make the manufacturing industry more efficient, but there's a price to pay.
Some of the artisan parts of the tool-making sample may disappear, and some of the complexity of running certain kinds of process equipment won't be necessary with this technology. It's more hands-off.
While it could mean the loss of some jobs, John Tenbush believes it will create other jobs in engineering and design. His company uses the machines. Eventually, he believes everyone will.
I see in the future, people being able to have one of these in your house, but of course, it's not just the ability to create a 3D object. it's really customized. It would be something that you would have to create yourself, create the file, and then create the part.
But files can be shared and fall into the wrong hands. Earlier this year, the world's first handgun was made using parts built by a 3D printer and based on online instructions.
As anywhere there's a computer, there's a weapon.
Jill Urbanek doesn't see it that way.
It's not the tool itself, it's what people do with the tool. It's like that with everything.
She believes that as this technology evolves, it will do more good than harm. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News, Windsor.